My dear friends, welcome to this special little video. My name is Neroel. I'm the creator of this channel, and today I want to show you how to draw the main character Neroel. If you don't know who that is, Neroel is this character, and this is basically the character that you want to draw good, at least if you're watching this video. Anyway, what we're going to do today is I'll show you how to draw, and I'll explain a little bit of how you behave with the character, how you behave with his shapes and everything. Let me show you again. This is the character Neroel. Like you see, it kinda looks like he doesn't have shapes at all, but believe me, he has shapes. They just don't look too obvious. So I guess we'll start now the drawing. Make this a little bit bigger, even though it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's start with this art here. So I just do a quick little speed art. I just draw it extremely fast now, as fast as I can, and you just watch how I do it. So this is it, guys. This is how you do pretty much the basics of the character. This is how I draw him speed. Like, it doesn't look that good, because usually when I draw the character I put a lot of more time into that. What I mean by that is when I start drawing the character, I focus more on how I draw him. I focus on the shapes, I focus that it looks sharp and everything, I focus that it looks isometric and not wrong. I mean, I can show you. On this part here, this part, and this part, I'll make these circles on this part. You see that the arms are kind of thinner. That's a thing I don't really want to do here. I want it to be as thin as the other arm. Then as you see here, this foot is much smaller, or more like much thinner than the other one. This is another thing I want to avoid, and this foot itself is much longer than this one. But like I said, this is just a speed art right now, and this is also completely wrong. This doesn't have to be here, it has to be here. But this was just a speed art, like I said. I wanted just to show you the basics of how to draw him, and I'll show you also how to color the character. Like a usual devil, he is red. He is basically just red everywhere. He doesn't have a tail at all, so you don't have to color a tail. But you gotta pay attention, because the nose has to be this color here. Yep, the eyes are white, and the teeth are actually also. They're just the teeth. They are white. Like you see, the teeth are white. And now to one really important thing. The tongue. The tongue of Neroel is not a usual tongue, it's not red. Why? Why I didn't make the tongue red was one reason. Cause of the body color itself. Yes, I know I could have made the tongue a little bit less red, or even more red than the body. But no, I decided to give the tongue yellow. Cause yellow is kind of a boom color. I don't know how to explain that. It's just, you can see the color yellow extremely well on a red background, and that's what I want to do with this character. The tongue is not going to be the focus of the character at all, no. The whole focus is just the character himself, the whole shape. The tongue is just one of the main things that I wanted to change, so it doesn't look repetitive at all. The character has to look a little bit interesting, with the clown nose and with the yellow tongue. Also, another thing, you may have seen that me and the co-creator, and the co-creators more like, have all a different art style. That's a thing. We actually all want to implement the same simple art style that I have here. Like on this picture, it has to be simple. It doesn't have to be all high, super, how do I say, detailed. It just has to be in simple art style, not more. And this is the simplest you can get with the character. You can even do it more simple and make the body you can make the body even lesser. By the way, this is just some speed art, so don't wonder. You can make the body even smaller, which means that it's even more easier to draw him. Like you see, I'm drawing him a little bit smaller. Yeah, it looks kind of terrible, I know, but I just wanted to show you. You can draw him even smaller, and it's not a big problem, cause everybody has an art style. You should not be afraid to take my character and kind of mix your own art style, but you also don't really need to go away from the art style he looks like. If you're drawing like probably too realistic, then it looks kind of you know, like He-Man, exactly like He-Man. I mean, yes, I do actually draw a lot of close-up pictures, and I can even show you a close-up picture. Let me just put that picture in, because I know it's here somewhere. The close-up picture, where's the close-up picture? Ah, okay. The close-up picture. Oh god, why can't I find my close-up picture? This is not it. This is not it either. Where's the close-up picture? God damn. Close up. Strange thing, I can't find the close-up picture. You know, my art style is extremely how should I explain? It's pretty open. What I mean by open is my art style can be mixed with tons of different art styles. You can make it even look a little bit different. Just don't go away from the main look the character has. It has to stay true to the original. That's why I have somewhere a close-up picture here on the net. But I can't find it for now. I should have probably prepared it for that. Oh, here it is. This thing you see right here. This is the close-up picture I've done for a character. And like you see, you can actually see that it is the character. Yes, I know I grossed this picture, I grossed the character out a lot. I mean, look at that. If you put his face on here, it wouldn't spark a difference other than the extremely detailed face. But it looks like the character. It has the same shapes, it has the same horns, it has the same color, probably a little bit more darker. It has the same nose color. The teeth are yellow, so that it looks a little bit more gross. And the eyes are also a little bit different, but that's only cause it is a close-up picture. Don't be afraid to make close-up pictures of the character. Just don't animate him like He-Man all the time and give him such an booty look. He doesn't have to look all that muscular all the time, or fat, or what, I don't know. He always has to look like this. He always, wait a minute, I put it away. No, you know what? He always has to look like this. Not half of the face, I mean the whole face. But you can implement these kind of pictures too. Not for a whole episode, except if there would be a story or a reason why he would look like that, but for a close-up picture, for a short minimum of time, you can show these kind of pictures for a character. This one, this is the most important thing you need. The character's face has to stay true the most. The body parts. You can at least make it a little bit different if you like. I don't know, maybe put a little bit of these things here. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of this, you can put it in. You can put it in. You can even make it a little bit more fat here and there. Not too fat, but you can make him. The legs a little bit more boom. Here it is. And we can give him clothes too, like pants, like a t-shirt or something. You can give him clothes. It doesn't matter, you can give him clothes, you can give the character clothes. Also, what you probably noticed is in early concept arts of the character, I used to draw him with these bracklets on here. And one of our main animators, my main animator Len, he still draws him with these bracklets, and he doesn't do these spikes, he just does the bracklets. And let me tell you one thing, it doesn't matter, you can put the bracklets in with spikes or no bracklets at all, you can put them in. It doesn't matter. It adds a little bit more variety to the character. He has more clothes on, he changes things, he has something there and there. It's a good thing. Also, I used to draw the character with fangs in the past. But with fangs up. They go up, not down. I changed that cause making these fangs is a little bit annoying for the animation. That's why we completely removed the fangs. He had them in early concept art. I remember in the past it did actually look a little bit more like this. The nose was like this, a little smaller eyes, then it was like that, and he did look a little bit like that. Then the body was like this. This is basically the bracklets. It was a little bit more like that. A little bit thinner legs, and this actually, also with a tail. This is actually how I used to draw the character in the past. This is how I used to draw him when I came up with the character. But then I changed it for better, cause this character was a little bit more complex and even more goofy than usual. That's why I had to change this design, cause it's more simple and also looks better. I don't know, you can give me your opinions under the comments if you like this version better than this version. I say I like the newest version more. I have nothing against the old version. I will also use the old version. And yeah, I really like the new design. It's much better. It's much better. Much easier to animate, much easier to draw, and much cooler. It just looks cooler and more like he has an attitude or so. And let's get back to the whole art style thing. Like I said, don't be afraid to put your own art style into the character. One of the biggest examples I would take for that is what I call the Tom and Jerry formula. I know there are other kinds of Disney formulas, other kinds of Looney Tunes formulas, but Tom and Jerry is the biggest example I have for that. Like you see, Tom and Jerry in the past. Those were the short cartoons where the mouse and the cat are fighting against each other, and if you look closely you see that each other short has a different art style. There is the one where the backgrounds and the characters themselves are more designed, a little bit more cuter, a little bit more realistic. Then there's the art style which is more simple and a little bit more edgy. I don't mean like edgy hard, I mean like edgy, a little bit more like look a square, he has a square on his body, you know what I mean. He looks a little bit like a square, his characters look a little bit like a square. Then there's the traditional art style the main guy came up with, and this is the thing. The people who do the other versions, they take the original art style, make it look a little bit different with their own style, but don't change the main formula of the character, the main looks of it. And that's exactly how you can draw Neroel. Like you see, in this picture I've just drawn, he looks a little bit different than in this picture I've drawn. That's also a thing I want to mention, the tools you use to draw. Like you see, he is more thinner here, and he looks a little bit more isometric. Also, the eyes are different, as well as the nose size. And the horns are also more sized. Okay, this is one thing, this is a really old picture by the way. I used to draw him like that when I, didn't use shapes, that's the thing. I didn't really use shapes in the past for one reason. I think shapes are pretty pointless to draw, at least for animation. I mean at least for a normal picture. For normal picture, shapes are pretty useless to be honest. But for an animation, that's not a thing. If you want to animate the character, you're going to need these shapes, because these shapes are pretty important. So you know, wait, let me show you like this, so you know exactly. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do, sorry. So you know exactly the body parts of the character. Like, look, I have, what kind of shapes do I have? I have a head, I have 2 eyeballs, I have eyebrows, I have a hair, I have ears, mouth, a neck, shoulders, wait, this part of the arm, the elbow, this part of the arm, and then the hand with the fingers. And what I mean by that you're going to see now. Now we're going to draw the character with shapes. It's a little bit more complicated, I can say that, but you will get to it easily after you're done so. And I'm not going to save that, but here you have. Let's start with the first shape. First things first, you gotta do this part. This is the part where you're going to place the mouth of the character. Wait, am I recording? Oh, sorry. Good. Like you see, this is the part I just drew. This is the part where you place the mouth. Like here is the mouth. Then you can here put the nose. And then you put this part over here, which is the main head. And here you can place in the eyes. They can be bigger. I mean, they can be bigger, they can be small. That doesn't matter, to be honest. Then, here are the horns. You put the horns here. It has to look exactly like that. The eyes, the horns, blah 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 blah. You get that feeling. You get what I mean. Then, here you place in the body of the character. And this is where the arm comes to use. And here is the part where you can place in the elbow. Like I said, the character Neroel, he's a little bit more of an edgy character, cause he moves extremely unrealistic with his body. I mean, he doesn't point like a normal guy to this side. He does like that. So something like that. You know, more like this. A little bit more edgy, a little bit more movie, a little bit more quirky than other characters. So it doesn't really matter. He doesn't need an elbow. You can just draw it like this too, like a noodle or something. It doesn't matter. But I could recommend you the elbows, cause it makes it a little bit more easier. But then you get something like Family Guy, where every move is just the same. It's like something like that, you know. Anyway, let's continue. Here you got the hand. The hand, which size it has, it doesn't matter. The fingers, they only have it's really short fingers. It's nothing real special to the character. I mean, he doesn't have like this part of the finger. Oh, sorry. He doesn't have like this part of the finger. He just has a finger, not this in the middle, just a finger. I don't know how the thing is called. That's kind of stupid. I should know that. Anyway, here comes the leg. The leg also doesn't really need an how's it called? I don't know really how that thing is called in, like, you know, this part. This is the leg, by the way. This is my leg. I mean, this is not really important because the character has pretty short legs. This is then where you place the big foot. No, I don't mean big foot, I mean the big foot, the big feet. And this is exactly how the shapes look for the character. Now, you can just look at the shapes. Oh, sorry. You can just look at the shapes and draw the character like a freaking maniac. Yeah, this is a little bit, this is a little bit stupid now how I draw him, cause yeah, probably like you see, I'm drawing everything with a goddamn mouse, and I'm not a guy who has like these drawing tablet tools, cause I don't have money for these things and money's tight. I mean, this thing costed me like 12 euro, that's not much. Anyway, if you have a lot of money, I would recommend you a drawing tablet, cause then it's much easier. Like, let's be honest, drawing the character on a sheet of paper is even more easier, because you can do a lot of more stuff on a sheet of paper rather than on the internet. I mean, on the internet, on Paint. I mean, yes, on Paint you can color the characters much easier, like this way. Let me show you. I mean, look, you can color the characters much easier. It's much easier to color them. But the stupid thing is the drawing of the character is a little bit complicated on the PC. I mastered it, like you see. I mastered the art with the mouse. That's probably, I don't know why actually. I'm pretty. I don't move like this when I draw. I'm just like really careful, not too fast. And by the way, if you decide to draw with a mouse, you better get one of these things, cause drawing with a mouse. Wait, let me show you actually. Let me show you. You see this? This is where I'm going to place the mouse. Don't do it. Wait. Don't do it like that. Don't draw like that. It's pretty stupid. You have to use this thing and then draw with it. Cause let me tell you, this is freaking stupid. I used in the past this without this thing, and every time I did like a sharp little curve, circle or something, he's like this. Oh fuck! Cause it just slips away. It slips away. That's why I recommend you this thing, cause you will need it. But like I said, drawing on a sheet of paper is even more easier. And I can recommend you one thing. If you have a copy machine, I don't know how these things are called. Sorry, my native language is German. That's why I don't speak English that well. But anyway, if you have a copy machine, you can use a piece of paper. Draw the characters. I'm going to draw a character really quick right now. Do this first. Do this. Do this. Do this. It's going to look a little bit awful because I do it fast, and cause the thing I'm drawing on, it's a little bit spiky. That's why it's going to look kind of stupid. But I can tell one thing: drawing on a sheet of paper is much faster and much more handier than with a mouse. And if you can get a drawing tablet, like I said, you can buy that. It's even better than doing that what I'm going to show now. Okay, there are three options. You just use paint and the mouse and animate and draw the characters. It takes much more time away. I do that because I don't have any other options. Or you can just buy a drawing tablet and draw the characters with your drawing tablet on the PC, and then it's even more easier to animate. And then there's the third option I'm going to show you now. Okay, this is a speed art I've done of the character, a real quick art, it's nothing special. If you have these copy things, you can just open them, put this picture in it, close it, copy it, and then it appears on your screen, and then you get a much easier feel of drawing the character. You get a much easier feel. You just have to like imagine if I just did this character with the copy thing. I copied it from a sheet of paper. Now I can just draw the lines the same way like in the sheet of paper. That's the thing I mean you can do with the characters, with animating. And what comes in more handier, the characters look much better when you do that with a sheet of paper. I don't do that because it takes even more goddamn time to do that. And it's a little bit complicated, and I just don't do that. I really don't like that. I'm used to the mouse drawing. I'm going to buy a drawing tablet, so it's even more easier because, like I said, it's much more comfortable to draw it with a pen and a paper, a pen and a paper, a pen and a paper. It's much easier to draw it like that. I just recommend not pen and paper, I mean a drawing tablet. If you don't have anything else to do, then try those two other options. Anyway, going back to the character, we've done the shapes. Like you see, this is the shapes you're going to work with. Like I said, you can put in also these things, so to make it a little bit longer, but like I said, the character, Neroel, isn't really that tall and he isn't really that small. So basically, also like I said, just try to use your own art style too. It would also work. Good. Now that we have this thing, I'm going to show you how I actually start drawing the character. This is a really good, important part. Oh, you know what? Just start in your paper. Okay. First things first, if you're drawing on paint, you could also use one of these things, so it's much easier to do that. This is how I start the nose. This is the thing. If you draw Neroel, Never start with the mouth. When you start with the mouth, it's even getting more complicated. And don't start with the horns. When you start with the horns, it gets freaking bad. It's going to look terrible, seriously. Okay, this one doesn't look that bad now, I don't know why. Okay, it looks like a Chinese guy. Anyway, start with... There are two options. You can either start with the nose, or you can either start with the eyes. You can start with both of these things. But I'm starting with the nose now, cause I'm used to start with the nose. Anyway, you have the nose. Wait, I want to have it isometric. We have the nose, then you go further with the eyes. One of those two things have to be the first, either the eyes or the nose. Then you make the pupils. It doesn't really matter how big they are, I don't seriously care. Every time I do the pupils, I'm just like, they just have to look pretty nice. That's the thing. Now these are the pupils. And now you draw these lines down there. What is that? This is basically the head. And now we do that part where the mouth takes place. Hi, I'm the mouth. Nice to see ya. And then, at this part of the eye, you start drawing the horns. They don't really have to look isometric. I mean, you can even draw them like that. A little bit much higher and much thinner. What I actually want is, I want them to look more like this. And this is a good thing. Or more like not, sorry. Look, I want the horns to look like in this picture. Not too high, not too up. I mean, not too high, not too down. So we start here and draw it like that. And this is it. This is it. This is the perfect example. This is like I wanted. Put that a little bit away. It doesn't have to look too damn sharp. Good. Now, start with the lines. If you ask him what these lines are, I can't seriously explain. It's just how I designed the character for some reason. I mean, it gives the character more of a look. If it's just a blank horns without anything, it doesn't look that great. But if you put these things into it, it looks much better. That's the thing. Anyway, we have the head now. We have the simple head. Now we go down to the body. I'll start with the hand first. It depends on how I'm drawing. I'm drawing him like a 3D model of a character or something. This is how you start. You first do the hands, the fingers, and then you can like look at a little bit, make it look a little bit more detailed. And then you can do another arm. I actually do that always. Every time I draw Neroel, I start with the nose, with the eyes, or either one of these two, and then I go with the mouth, with the horns, and one with the hands. I mean with the arms, because the arms are probably the most, the arms and the head, the whole head, are the most important part of the character, because they express the feeling of the character. Okay, it doesn't look that great now. I want it to go away, because it has to be as fat as the hand is. I mean, if you're drawing for the first time, it's going to be probably like, you did it wrong. But you will get used to draw the character. You will get how it works. You will just get how it works. That's the thing. You will get how the character works, and you will know basically where is what this, where is that, how do I draw that, and everything. Then I start with the body, and I make it look like that. It's not too fat, not too thin. It's just a normal body. Up here you do the belly, and when you do the belly, you can start doing the legs. Then you do this sharp thing. And okay, this looks a little bit strange. Let's redo it. This is the leg. I make the other leg move a little bit more. Good. This is how you draw the character. And like I said, if you paint him, just everything, well, not everything, but basically everything red. The only things that are not red are the eyes, the nose, because the nose is this color, and the tongue. Oh, and the teeth. And the teeth are white, the tongue is yellow, like you know, this is how to draw the character. Anyway, this is basically all I wanted to tell you how to draw the character. I hope you liked this video, and I hope I could help you with drawing the character. I mean, you could call this like a tutorial video if you want to start at my, not really company or studio, because I don't have a studio or a company. If you want to be a part of my team, you need to know how to draw Neroel. And this is how you draw Neroel. So if you want to join our team, you have to draw good. You have to have a... You can either have the same art style as me or make a different one, but still take the same idea that I have with these characters. And yeah, if you want to be a part of the team, just ask, or more like send me your sketch of Neroel. It could either be on paper and pen or on paint. It doesn't matter, you can draw like you want. I would be pretty happy if somebody would try to draw him with probably a little bit more different art style, or with the same art style. I would like to see what you guys have, what kind of skills do you guys have. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. It was pretty fun to do that, and I actually wanted to do that for a pretty long time. And I'm going to say I see you next time. Goodbye, my friends.